Hello YouTube, it's Atticus. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Today we have a really cool one. So it is High Elves versus Chaos, and yeah, this guy was really good. This game turned out really cool, went really to the wire, and yeah, I just really wanted to show this build. I thought it was worth kind of showing. So let's just jump into it, guys. So for the Lord, I'm trying something different. I'm trying Illyrio on foot. So yeah, you don't really see that a lot, but I figured that most time Chaos opponents will think you're going to take a Dragon or Tyrion or somebody, so they'll overcompensate and take like Kolek with his anti-large. So if you take a Foot Lord, that can really catch them by surprise. And yeah, she's really tanky, and more importantly, I want her mixed into the battle line here because she has a bonus that will give immunity to psychology. Yeah, magical damage and immunity to psychology. So now, having her with these sword masters here, these guys are going to be able to fight on. They won't get terror routed by Kolek or any of his, monster units, and they'll all have magic damage. So yeah, having her on foot will just keep her alive a lot longer, and I just feel like that just gives a good synergy if you're trying to win the front line. Speaking of front lines, guys, we have 2 units of sword masters going to be babysitted by Illyrio. We have 2 units of spearmen. Also, to deal with any Cav or Koleks, we have 1 noble. Of course, he'll have his anti-large bonus and things like that. And guys, the real meat and potatoes of this army is going to be 2 Flamespire Phoenixes. So yeah, these guys, what makes them really cool is their ability to rebirth. They can regenerate. So it's a roll of dice. It's random. You never know if it's going to proc. So it's kind of just a matter of luck. But yeah, if these guys get ready to die, they'll have a burst of life and they'll be back at full health. So that can really turn games for you. And they also have their bombardment spells where they could drop flame and stuff. But I'm mostly using them for the regeneration. We also have 1 bolt thrower. It's going to be on Lord sniping duty, protected by 1 unit of spearmen. And we have 1 unit of silver helms, guys. So yeah, kind of very. I'd call this build very. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's very specific. It's it's like a razor. It's meant to do 1 roll. Very optimized. That's the word I'm looking for. And last but not least, guys, we have the Grey. So you don't really see these guys a lot, but I put them in Deep Vanguard because I wanted them to deal with any Hell Cannons. If my opponent would have brought a Soul of Damnation or something like that, these guys would be able to snipe it. They also have a stalk mechanic. I forget what it's called. Leoic Shroud, which will give them stalk. It allowed them to shoot without being seen. So yeah, they have the Master Ambusher trait. So luckily, I'm glad I brought these guys because you can see my opponent has brought a lot of Marauder Horsemasters. So he doesn't know that these guys are there, and they'll come in handy into the late game. So as for my opponent, guys, he did bring, for his Lord, Kolek. So yeah, like I said, a lot of times against High Elves, you're going to expect dragons and things like that. So yeah, I think we're going to be kind of... we got kind of lucky with that. I'm glad he brought Kolek because he's not going to really have that many good targets besides these Silver Helms, which will be dealing with the 2 Chaos Warhounds with poison. So for his infantry court, I guess there's a bunch of Marauders. Some of them have chevrons, I did notice, though. See, these ones have a bunch of gold chevrons, a bunch of Marauders, and then we do have the Demon Spew. So, yeah, these guys could be a big threat to my swordsmen, or excuse me, not my swordsmen, but my spearmen and things like that. So I'm going to have to get my Frostheart, or excuse me, my Flamespire Phoenix on these guys to try to keep them isolated and away from my army. He has a backline of a Chaos Chariot. We have some Dragon Ogres, and we have a Chaos Sorcerer of Death Magic. So he has Fate of Una, Spirit Leech, and Soul Blight. So yeah, pretty standard loadout. These guys will be a good counter to my Swordmasters, so hopefully we'll be able to shut them down. Over here, he has 2 Chaos Warhounds poison. These guys are obviously going to try to get into my Bolt Thrower, but the real niche pick, the thing I did not expect, is 3 units of Horsemasters, and I don't have any archery units to counter them besides the Grey. So, yeah, these guys are going to have their work cut out for them. So, alright guys, let's go ahead and jump into the build. So, right off the bat, as the lawnmower is going to say to the grass, since I have to mow, which sucks, yeah, the Bolt Thrower is going to get some really good shots off onto Kolek right here. We're gonna, get a chip away at some of his health, kind of, keep him honest. It's gonna make him have to waste some of his micro trying to dodge those shots. You can see I am gonna see these Chaos Warhounds, so I'm gonna have my Silver Helms come over here just to try to protect them, keep him from getting into the back line. And yeah, we're just being patient. Seeing that he didn't have any Chaos Hell Cannons, the Grey are gonna have this long trek right here to try to shut down these Horsemasters. And you can see that my opponent is trying to do a little bit of damage, but these guys do have Silver Shields, and he does does get one into the back, but yeah, we'll be able to tank most of that damage, at least for a little bit of while. You can see the Noble is going to start chasing after Kolick. He's going to be on Kolick duty, and the Frostheart Phoenix, or I keep calling the Frostheart Phoenix, the Flame Spire Phoenix are going to go ahead and land. So yeah, I'm just going to send one right here to get into the Demon's View. I don't want these guys shut down, and one just in here into the back. I was hoping to lure away some of his forces to try to have him kind of split up, and would allow my Swordmasters to kind of just cut through his troops, and it kind of works that way. Let's go ahead and speed it back up, guys. So yeah, you can see that the Silver Helms right here are going to be intercepting these Chaos Warhounds. We're going to keep them from getting into the Bolt Thrower. I do have one unit of Spearmen here protecting them, but yeah, we should be okay. Over here, the Noble and the Swordmaster Hoaf are going to have the Shield of Thorns cast on them, which is going to give them a physical resistance and yeah, weapons damage. And we're doing a lot of damage to Kolick, and you can see the Phoenix, we're just going to call it the Phoenix, is in here. He's going to be wrecking these guys. Same with over here. We're going to lay him on the Demon's View, but this will be a pretty even trade. The Demon's View have some pretty good abilities, and yeah, but at least we're keeping them from hitting my Spearmen and things like that, which is going to buy me time. You can see my opponent's going to send these Dragon Ogres into the mix right here, but we do have Spearmen. We have Illyrial, which will have the magic damage and immunity to psychology, and we'll be able to hold these guys pretty long. You can see this Spearman unit is going to fall since they're getting hit in the back by all these Marauder Horsemasters, but luckily the Gray is going to get into the fray, guys, and yeah, we're going to be able to start sniping him. And keep in mind, these guys are still hidden, so my opponent shouldn't be able to see them. So let's go ahead and speed it back up right here. It looks like my Swordmasters are going to get a Fate of Buna cast on them, but yeah, I'll be able to heal them back up with all the abilities of Illyrial, so I'm not really, sweating it too much. And you can see I am going to use the Star of Avalorn. We're just trying to win this central pocket right here, and yeah, Illyrial's just doing so good on foot. She's not taking any damage, and that immunity psychology is just going to keep these guys alive really long. And you can see my opponent is going to be able to break these Swordmasters and these Spearmen, but yeah, the Noble's going to be in here. He's anti-large, and you can see we're doing a lot of good damage to Kolick. So we're actually kind of winning that engagement. You can see the Gray now is having a 2 versus 1 fight right here. They do have the Shroud casted on them, so yeah, they're pretty much invisible. My opponent can't see them to shoot, so yeah, we're just shooting them point blank into the face, which is working good for me. Over here, guys, let's go and slow it down. You can see that I do get a rear charge into the Chaos Marauders. My opponent was fighting these Spearmen, so instead of chasing these Hounds, I just get a rear charge. It's going to break these guys, and it's going to allow my Spearmen to open up. And yeah, this is what I was talking about, guys, how powerful the Demon's View are. You can see it does break my Flame Spire Phoenix, but he hopefully will get that regeneration, which will keep him alive. And you can see my opponent is trying to get into my Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, but I am going to intercept with the Silver Helm, which will keep those guys from shutting that down. Over here, guys, you can see the Noble does have a Spirit Leech upgraded. He's done his job, though. He's done a lot of damage to Kolick, so I'm not really complaining. We're keeping this whole little pocket here backed up, and you can see the Gray is doing a 2 versus 1, but these guys are so powerful, they'll be able to hold for the longest. So, yeah, you can see we are going to be able to stop these 2 Chaos Warhounds. It's meaning the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower is still going to be able to fire for me, and you can see my opponent is going to be able to break the Noble, but like I said, we've done the damage we need to Kolick, so he will return. You can see I'm going to get another Shield of Thorns, which is going to give these guys a physical resistance. Balance of Power is smack dab in the middle, guys, so it still is anybody's game. You can see that I do have the Spearmen right here who are going to open up. You can see the Phoenix is coming back from routing, and we're going to be able to break these 2 units of Chaos Warhounds of Poison, guys, so things are looking kind of good for us. You can see Kolick is going to get a spell off. He's going to get his Lightning Storm right onto the heart of these guys. Luckily, they did have the physical resistance, so yeah, they'll be able to keep firing on. And you can see over here, guys, the Bolt Thrower is shooting Kolick point blank into the face. He is going to use Foe Seeker, but yeah, you can see I have my Silver Helms and my Spear units, which are going to come to try to deal with him. And same with the Noble, who has returned. Over here, guys, this is the moment of truth. Boom, we do get the regeneration, the Flamespire Phoenix. So yeah, that is a huge bonus for us. And you can see the Balance of Power just goes way back up in the middle. So luckily, it did proc. So yeah, he's going to come. I have a full health Phoenix, which is just keeping this whole unit busy, and it's going to be able to slowly start to kill him. You can see the Kolick is in a really bad position. He does get his Noble. He kills the Noble with one swing, but we have him completely surrounded, so we should be able to break him. Over here, guys, you can see the Illyrial is just fighting amongst these troops, keeping them from breaking. Like I said, immunity psychology, and we're just doing the Earth Bloods. We're keeping this little pocket pretty much from being able to die. And my opponent's sending everything he has trying to shut these guys down. But yeah, it's just looking good for us, guys. And you can see Kolick is going to fall, and he's going to be escorted off the map by these Silver Helms. You can see I still have the bolt thrower at pretty good health. These spearmen are just doing really good. They're protecting him this whole game. The Chaos Warhounds haven't been able to get into him. And yeah, guys, over here, the Gray has done really good too. These guys have 2 versus 1 Horse Masters. You can see we've pretty much broken both units and wasted all their ammunition. And yeah, we still have this Phoenix over here, guys, who's, he's been battling these Chaos Marauders, but hey, they'll come in handy here in the late game. You can see now it's coming down to this really central pocket right here, guys. I'm going to get another Star of Avalorn, and yeah, my opponent just does not have the brute force to break that. With all the heals and the buffs, giving by Illyrio, it's keeping these guys alive, pretty much unbreakable. They're fighting like Dwarfs would. And you can see this this Phoenix is going to land right in here and get a nice terror route. Once we start the terror route with Chaos, they'll start to break. And you can see the Chaos Chariot's going to break. You can see the Chaos Warhounds are going to break. And you can see the bolt thrower is opening up. We're just trying to kill this chariot, and we will switch our target onto these dragon ogres here pretty quickly. Over here, we've escorted Kolok off the map, so I will get my silver helms back into the battle right here. We've protected the bolt thrower pretty effectively. You can see we're going to get one more shot off on here, and boom, kill those chariots. It's pretty much a good FU to them, and you can see that now it's just coming down to his Chaos Sorcerer and these dragon ogres who are going to break. Yeah, these guys just don't really have a good target. I mean, yeah, the Phoenixes, but they're just, they're not getting that much value, and you can see the bolt throwers just shooting them in the back. Now they will return, but yeah, guys, we're looking really strong right here. 2 Phoenixes, one at almost full health, and Lariel's at full health. We have Swordmasters, we have Spearmen, we have a whole unit of Silver Helms coming back in the battle, and we have a bolt thrower who's still almost half his ammunition. So my opponent's in really, bad shape, and you can see the balance of power is really starting to drift into my favor. He is going to do a last ditch, just kind of charge everything in that he has, guys, but that's one of the bonuses of Illyrio. This late into the game, having that immunity to psychology just means they don't get terror routed when their leadership is low because of things like the dragon ogres and things like that. And he is trying to get a encirclement on me, guys, but we just have such powerful troops, and it's just going to be an army of losses and a win for the High Elves. So yeah, that build was really cool. It worked the way I wanted, and I was kind of excited to show that to you guys. So let's go ahead and look at the end screen breakdown and talk about some of the keys for my success. And I think it came down to Illyrio being able to win that center pocket with me with the immunity to psychology and the magic damage. And the Phoenixes, I keep calling the Frostheart Phoenixes, the Flame Phoenixes, being able to get that rebirth, that really, you saw it. It bounced the balance of power. It shot the balance of power back into my favor. Silver Helms were able to keep his backline harass from getting into my bolt thrower, which means we were able to snipe down Kolok. And yeah, guys, I just feel like everything went kind of the way that I planned. Like I said, this was a very surgical strike, very precise High Elf army. And the Gray, people always say the Gray are overpriced and worthless, but you saw them, guys. They dealt with 3 units of Horse Masters. They were able to kill 2 of them before they broke. So yeah, I feel like just one of these units could deal with 3 units of your opponent. So I think the Gray does have a matchup. You just got to take advantage of the Loic Shroud so they stay invisible. So yeah, that was a cool game. I enjoyed that one. So good game to D. Tompkins 93. It's Atticus, and I'll see you next time. And thanks for reminding me, Luca. I didn't forget you, man. It's coming. I know I've been saying that for a while, but it's coming, buddy. All right, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.